what I'm passionate about. That's why I teach young people. That's what I live and breathe because I know that financial independence is the only true freedom, okay? Nobody should lie to you that your freedom depends on anything else but your
Yeah.
financial freedom because hey guys, welcome back to another podcast by the Young and Independent Community. I am thrilled to have Jeni on the call with me today. Guys, listen, there's something powerful about social media. If you don't use it, like someone said, social media will use you. If you use it the right way, it can take you places. And here am I having this amazing young woman on this podcast today just by sharing my story. Like, I made a post yesterday on Instagram and I shared a photograph of me when I was 20. That was when I had taken over the management of my dad's company with my stepsister at the time. And Jeni, she messaged me and she said, "Wow, I just read your story, inspired me." And we got talking, and she said, "Oh, actually, when you come to Cameroon, let's have a conversation. I would love to invite you for a class. We're into business and finance." I was like, is this a young lady who is into business and finance? That's my passion. In fact, that's my path. And I'm so glad to have you here, Jeni. Please introduce yourself to the guests and let's get this conversation going.
Hello everyone, I'm called Mbeku Cynthia Jennifer. I'm 20 years of age and I'm from Cameroon. So I got inspired from Miss Sylvie's post just yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday. And knowing too that I'm someone who is very passionate in business, I actually love what she posts and everything. So I was really like, oof. That's why I actually contacted her, and here we are now on the Zoom meeting. Just see how life is. So I'm happy talking to you now and having you as a mid business and not just on the Zoom call. And I hopefully think that our journey will go far as concerns to independence and financial freedom and business. Because everything is actually under business. So I just hope everything will continue.
Yes, Jeni, I would love to be a part of your journey to financial independence. That's what I'm passionate about. That's why I teach young people. That's what I live and breathe because I know that financial independence is the only true freedom, okay? Nobody should lie to you that your freedom depends on anything else but your
Yeah.
financial freedom because then you get to choose whom you want to worship, you get to choose where you want to go to, who you want to marry, how many kids you want to have, where you want to live, countries you want to travel to, hospitals that you want to be treated in, doctors that you want to, consult with. Money is everything. The Bible said it, that a feast is merry and wine is good, but money answereth everything. So, Jeni, tell us, what do you do in that regard?
That's
Because
true.
you talked about a master class. So what do you do in that regard?
Okay, apart of being an accountant, because I actually work in the accounting department here in at Camioto. Camioto is actually a company that does with fuel, car engine, tires. Well, we're actually a big company, but to summarize, apart from being an accountant, I am actually ongoing a training in hairdressing and nails. Then I also joined a network marketing business. And apart from network marketing business, we also train young entrepreneurs. Like we bring in a community, like we host seminars every Thursdays evening and every Saturdays afternoon from 3:30 p.m. Yeah, and the seminars are actually based on entrepreneurship, and we call it BMA, Business Mentoring Academy. So that's what we used to actually market our, like, to bring in partners in our network marketing, because we deal with long reach. Yeah, so that's it. And apart from it too, I also do a side thing like bakery. I do chin chin, which I usually sell on wholesale where I'm working, or I actually sell retail too. So that's what I'm actually doing.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Recently I was having a conversation with my partner or with my partner, and he told me that there's a classmate of his who does chin chin. He does chips and chin chin in Bamenda, and he makes $50,000 a year for revenue. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's selling chips and chin chin in Bamenda and he's making $50,000. That's 25 million CFA a year. And people in Cameroon crying that
Wow.
they're broke, that they don't
Ha.
have money. What is going on?
I
This guy's in
swear.
America making chin chin and chips in your
Ha.
country, selling it and walking away with the
Hmm.
cash. What's up, Jeni? How much are you making from your chin chin business? And really, because what I see a lot of young people do is that they just want to be employed, they just want a job. Is this something that
Yeah.
someone can do and earn money on a monthly basis and live comfortably off that money? Do you think if they do it as a full-time job, can they earn money from it and live comfortably?
Actually carry out the activity when you're doing something else. Like let it be like a part-time something like because
Like a
normally a
side
normal
hustle.
human being is supposed to have voila, a normal human being is supposed to have maximum four sources of income. You cannot tell me that you sit in an office from 7 to 6 p.m. Then you go back home from 1st to 31st and just be depending on that. Normally, I say normally we're having different sources of income. For me, it should just be like a one part, like yeah, like what you said, but depending on how you organize yourself. If you do it a week, let's say you do your chin chin every weekend, let's say on Thursdays, and let's say you do maximum 30 packets or 50, that can give you 5,000 CFA francs. Then what if you do 100, that's 10,000. It depends on how can I say how motivated you are, but it actually takes time and energy. A girl just still going to school and she maybe wants to start her own business. She can use it, then with time she will grow and do more. She could even open a bakery or she could even bake cakes or do something better. But as a grown up, someone who does office work or does any other thing, it will just be as a surplus to your life. And it's also nice because it will teach you and it will open many doors. Yeah, it will open you many doors because everything happens for a reason and you shouldn't just be focused on one thing.
Now, thank you so much for what you've just said, Jeni. I'm really encouraged by what you've said because I get the impression that young people back home don't really get it. And that's why I'm very passionate about this financial
Yes.
freedom for young people and spreading the message because there's something going on, okay? A lot of people now only employ people that I recommended. Why? Because people have had really bad experiences with workers that they have no clue who they are, where they're from, what their work ethics is. So there's more man, no man. When I'm not going to sit here and lie that there is. And personally, as an employer in Cameroon who has got a few businesses, when I want to employ someone, I ask someone to recommend someone to me. I don't just go on the job market and find random people. Why? Because I've been burnt before. I've employed people randomly. One guy, the first guy I employed randomly, after 2 weeks, stole more than 500,000 from the company's coffers, took company phones, took company documents, and disappeared.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he ended up behind bars. And then recently I employed
Jesus.
someone who was supposed to just manage a fleet of vehicles, and he took money for insurance. Again, another 500,000, disappeared for 2 weeks, reappeared, and the money was not available anymore. So more and more people don't want to employ people that they don't know. So this then puts people who are looking for work really on a standstill. Like you're like in a wilderness if you don't know anyone. So this chin chin thing that you're talking about, I see it as a really good outlet for young people, especially who don't have any responsibilities, like you said, who don't have a family of their own at the moment, who don't,
Yes.
maybe they're still with their parents, don't have rent to pay. Now is the time to sell enough chin chin and save. But I'm asking myself, what is this guy doing to sell 25 million worth of chin chin in a year? But he sat in America. What exactly is he doing? Is that something that other people? And he said that he's unable to fulfill demand. That there's if he had a bigger capacity, he will make more than that. So I'm really, really, I would love to
Yeah, that means
interview
he
you.
actually started since.
Not really, not really. I think what he does is that he produces in a mass capacity. just like you're saying that if you do
Yeah,
50, you
that's
get
it. And it's very
5,000.
possible.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you do 100, you get 10,000. I think
Yes.
he's just doing insane
That's how
numbers.
I
And
do.
because the demand is there, for your BMA, what do you guys teach people?
In the BMA Business Mentoring Academy, we actually teach people about entrepreneurship, some, if I can say, some tricks, like how important it is to actually build yourself as an entrepreneur, the risk in it, and at the advantages, the disadvantages. Then we actually introduce the business into it, or maybe we can present them different sources of income by encouraging them, mostly the youth of our age, to start up an entrepreneurial journey now, rather than waiting for the dying minute and later on give up complaints in years to come, or find yourself vulnerable, weak, and with no source of income.
You said that you guys provide guidance to entrepreneurs, to young people. You give them business ideas. You teach them how the importance of getting into entrepreneurship right now instead of finding themselves down the line or many years, into their lives, and they look back in regrets. That's a really noble thing. How receptive are young people to this academy?
Well, it's not actually easy at times, but from my own from my own look, it's mostly if I can say old people, but it's mostly people of the older generation that attend the meeting, and it's very bad. Like for you to actually bring a youth, like for you to actually convince a youth to attend a seminar, is not easy. We all know that youths are more attracted to parties, concert, rather than seminar. You can tell you that okay, even if the entrance is free, that you just thinking that child, look at the time that I could have been playing, doing some sort of things. I'll go and sit down for 2 hours. So it's very discouraging at times, but we actually keep it strong and try our possible means to always share the flyer and invite people, because we mostly use our social media platforms. It's more easier to invite people of the older generation than of the younger generation. That's something which is true. Yes. Because they already have that knowledge and they're already conscious. Meanwhile, the younger generation, they still have to think, they still have to like, oh, so it's very discouraging at times.